Under the vibrant hues of the sunset, Tirana's streets were alive with chatter and laughter, but deep within the government buildings, a storm was brewing. Rama, Albania's unconventional prime minister, had sparked international attention again, this time with the controversial decision to ban TikTok following the tragic death of a teenager. As reports flew across globes and screens, Rama leaned back in his chair, a faint smirk creeping across his face. This was his signature move: create a spectacle and shift the narrative away from the things that truly mattered. The youth were in an uproar. Elira, a popular TikTok influencer known for her candid takes on social issues, was at the forefront of the movement against the ban. Her videos ranged from dance challenges to serious discussions about mental health, and she had amassed a loyal following. The ban felt like an attack on youth empowerment, and Elira's vibrant presence on social media became a battleground for their voices. Meanwhile, in the Prime Minister's office, Mira, the tech-savvy advisor working closely with Rama, had been tasked with devising a plan. She understood the young generation's connection to platforms like TikTok and how banning it could backfire, stoking flames of dissent. "You can't silence a generation, Eddie," she cautioned during their daily strategizing session. "Instead of uniting the people against the so-called threats of social media, we should promote responsible use. Harness that energy." Rama, however, was focused on the immediate spectacle. "It's not about silencing them, Mira. It's about controlling the narrative. In a month, they'll talk about something else. Besides, international headlines grant us power and visibility." He waved away her concerns, confident in his media-manipulating abilities. As tensions escalated, Arben, a diligent journalist for Le Monde, was undercover, observing the government's machinations. He had a nose for stories, and this incident reeked of manipulation. He began investigating the Prime Minister's motives, digging deeper into Rama's past and the underlying corruption that had plagued his administration. His quest led him into dark alleys and luxurious dining halls, uncovering ties between politicians and the Albanian mafia, including Florin, a once loyal supporter of Rama and the owner of several high-profile businesses. On the streets, Elira's influence grew. She collaborated with other TikTok influencers to flood the platform with videos calling for an anti-censorship march, echoing their demand for the right to express themselves freely. Thousands joined the movement, turning the city center into a vibrant tapestry of youth culture and camaraderie. Protests drew international media attention, and Rama was portrayed not as a hero battling incompetence but as a dictator stifling freedom, a narrative he had not anticipated. Caught between the waves of mounting protests and the potential fallout from a media frenzy, Rama convened a crisis meeting. "This is spiraling. If I don't act quickly, I'll lose control of the narrative," he said, frustration evident in his voice. Mira proposed a radical solution. Instead of seeking to ban TikTok completely, they could regulate it, promoting a government-backed initiative aimed at digital literacy and online safety, turning the sentiment back in their favor. Rama mulled it over, realizing he could spin this as a win for both the youth and the government. But he also recognized the risk. Florin, under increasing pressure from Rama's twin tactics of reform and scrutiny, was nervous that his ties to the mafia might be exposed. That night, a conversation between old allies turned heated. Florin warned, "Your stunts are drawing attention you can't control, Eddie. You'll need us to keep the balance." Yet Rama was resolute. "The people are awakening. I can't afford to align with criminals if I want to be taken seriously on the international stage." As the protests continued to grow, Rama made a surprise announcement during a live stream, blending art and governance, something he relished. "We will not ban TikTok," he declared. "Instead, we will implement regulations and create a campaign for safe and responsible use. The youth of Albania will be our leaders, not our enemies." For a moment, the air outside was charged with confusion, then a roar of approval erupted. The media spun the narrative as a victory for democracy, Rama, the reformist. But behind the scenes, both Ramos and Florin were aware that this was a temporary fix. The political games had only just begun. As Elira watched the excitement over their victory on TikTok, she felt a twinge of caution. This was a win, but it also felt like a manipulation of their message. The following days were filled with questions. Was Rama genuinely trying to empower the youth, or was he merely redirecting their momentum? Arben, meanwhile, continued to dig, sketching out the web of lies, power plays, and the struggle for genuine freedom within the narrative Rama spun. His articles for Le Monde began to gain traction, capturing the hearts of readers more invested in the complexities of democracy than in surface-level victories. In the end, it wasn't just about TikTok or a prime minister's gambit, it was about a nation redefining itself, battling the weight of its own history while flair and charisma vied for authenticity in the echoes of their voices. As Albania advanced toward the uncertain future of Europe, the fight for democracy and integrity was just beginning.